You're listening to the Championship Wrestling Podcast. And here's your host, Dustin Starr.
Welcome, everybody, to the Championship Wrestling Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. It's a milestone episode. It's episode 50. It's hard to believe it's been 50 already. And here to celebrate the big 5-0, man, I have a very special guest. It's one half of the new United World Tag Team Champions. He's going to join me today for a quick recap. Hello, everybody. I am Dustin Starr, and King FATBOY PAPO Esco will be joining me right here in just a few moments. We're going to recap Saturday's epic championship wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. I'm going to tell you what's coming up for championship wrestling, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. But before we get started, be sure to follow at CW30 Wrestling on all forms of social media, and you can keep up with me at Dustin Starr.
Championship Wrestling is presented by Pro Shingle, a professional roofing company.
Let's run it back with the Championship Wrestling Rewind.
Saturday's show was as unpredictable as ever, and it all started even before the show introduction even happened, and then it only got better from there. We are the fastest hour in professional wrestling, and this week was no different. Some viewers actually said it was the best episode all year long, but I'll let you be the judge. Tweet us at CW30 Wrestling. Real quick, we're going to go through the highlights, and then one half of the brand new United World Tag Team Champions, Papo Esco. He's going to join me to talk all about the history-making moment. Last week on Championship Wrestling, Heather Monroe and Austin Body prepared for their big showdown.
As you know, we have a match against CC Chanel and Ruby Reyes, and they are trying to take away our women's belt, the belt that we worked so hard to create. But we are not going to let that happen, are we?
No.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I ask again, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do this.
And the Bodega didn't want to wait for their United World Tag Team title match.
Tell Nico, you know what I'm saying, that we here. We ain't trying to wait for the 500th episode.
No.
We don't want the fireworks or the blockbuster event.
No.
We want our tag team championship shots today.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds fun to me. All right. Yeah, no, he says yes. I mean,
all right, good. Shut up. Good. You tell SoCal Distancing that the street tax is due, and we're going to collect with them belts.
The light's completely out here, guys. It's Ray Rosas! And he's all over Kubrick.
He is lighting them both up. What a super kick from Ray Rosas.
He is giving SoCal Distancing a taste of their own medicine. And watch out, Danny Limelight. Don't turn around. You're not going to like the view. Look out here. Slice Boogie. Whose side is he on? He's got the crowbar. What a shot to Andy Brown. Didn't see any of the shenanigans. History made!
All that and so much more on the fastest hour in pro wrestling. Watch episode 89 in full on our official YouTube channel at CW30 Wrestling. You saw the highlights right there, and here to recap episode 89 with me, one of the men who main evented and made history, one half of the brand new United World Tag Team Champions, King FATBOY PAPO Esco. What's up, brother?
Let me stop you right there, Dustin. Listen, when I first came to the United Wrestling Network, I told everybody me and Danny was going to rob the house. And that's exactly what we did. And now you're looking at the new United Wrestling Network World Tag Team Champions, the Bodega.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on the big victory. What a freaking chaotic match. Literally, 5 members of SoCal Distancing trying to take down 2 members of the Bodega. And then here comes Slice Boogie, Ray Rosas, BHK, everybody was involved. And then in the end, it's like you said, man, it's like a spoiler. You guys have been saying it. The street tax was due, and you got it in the form of the United World Tag Team Champions. So first and foremost, congratulations, man.
Right on, man. I appreciate that. You know, not too many people share your congratulations, but you know, we're gonna show everybody that we are here and we're gonna hold these belts, man, for a very, very long time.
Well, let's look back and quickly recap the episode. And it started off hot. We are the fastest hour in pro wrestling, and you guys proved that this week. This match was not scheduled. This United World Tag Team title match was not scheduled until the 500th episode spectacular in 2 weeks. You guys basically barge into the office and say, we're not waiting. We want the tag team titles right now.
We was tired of waiting. We're not going to wait to the 500th episode to get what we want. Like I told them, like I told that dude then, the street taxes due. And SoCal Distancing was going to pay it. We was going to collect, and we did.
You were in the live chat, which was super cool, but maybe we just cut to the chase, man. World Tag Team titles, main event, you and Danny Limelight against, it ended up being Dom Kubrick with Andy Brown. So I don't know where Adrian Quest was, but were you guys preparing for Adrian Quest and Andy Brown? Did you have any kind of idea that they were going to pull the switcheroo on you?
Me and Danny is so hungry, man. We want them belts. You know, we wanted them belts. It didn't matter if it was anybody. It didn't matter who it was. We was going to go in there with the goal of taking them straps off of SoCal Distancing by any means necessary. And we did that. You know, it didn't matter if it was Dominic. It didn't matter if it was Adrian Quest. It didn't matter if it's Andy Brown. I don't care if it was Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. It didn't matter who got in the ring with the Bodega. We was gonna come out on top, period.
That's exactly what you did. Now, I do have to ask you about what seems to be possibly a third member of the Bodega. So you guys might be a trio here. What's going on with Slice Boogie? He came out and helped you guys out in this situation.
So you saw a couple weeks ago, week ago, whatever it was, we came out to look out for Slice, man. I told Slice to his face, you're taking L's being a nice guy, man. It's time to come to the Bodega, stop playing around, and let's get this thing popping, man. They strengthen numbers. And Slice Boogie looks like he found out that that's true. There is strength in numbers. So one more for the Bodega. You know, he's a Boricua just like us. He's from La Isla de los Dioses, just like us, the island of the gods, Puerto Rico. So why would he not come to the Bodega?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, immediately he helped make a big impact with you guys, and you walked away as the United World Tag Team Champions. But, man, you know what? I have to tell you, you guys are some bad dudes. Don't get me wrong. When you entered the ring after Danny had a 2-on-1 battle there, when you entered the ring, it really changed that match. But the people love you. No matter how bad you are, how mean you are, the people love you. Have you seen this on social media? The people loving you guys?
You know what, Dustin? I think you're confusing bad dudes with passionate dudes. We have hot blood. You know, passion, it runs through our veins. But we are going to do what we need to do by any means necessary. You know, we don't think that somebody needs to play by the rules in order to get ahead. So we're going to do what we got to do. And if you don't like it, tough. But other people like it. You could rock with us. You could not rock with us. It don't matter.
You mentioned your debut. Talk to me about the debut of finally being on Championship Wrestling, but then very quickly forming a relationship with Danny Limelight Rivera. How far back do you guys go? Because it was very similar how you kind of recruited Slice Boogie. You walked up on him after a loss, and before you know it, a month later, I guess, not very long, you guys are tag team champions. How'd this come about?
Nobody needs to know about our past. Nobody needs to know about who we knew and how long we knew him. All you needed to know was that the King FATBOY PAPO Esco came to the United Wrestling Network, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, to right the wrongs that have been going on with my people since the day they got here. Danny Limelight knows it, and look at him now. Slice Boogie knows it, and we're going to see how he does going forward.
It definitely has the protection that you guys had, so we will definitely see that. But let's pull the curtain back, if you don't mind, real quick, about the name, the Bodega. So when you and Danny partnered up, how did this whole thing come about naming the team? And can you give us any kind of backstory on this?
I've been built from the Bodega since the very beginning, since before I even came into the United Wrestling Network, since before I even came into Championship Wrestling. The Bodega is a place where you can get anything you need, anything. And it's a place where people can feel safe because we are there to protect our people, you know? So the Bodega it's a mentality, you know? It's a mentality. Basically, you know, you could do anything you want in life. You put your mind to it. You could do anything and you can get anything you need if you really want it. So
in 2 weeks, on December 26th, begins a 2-week spectacular, a blockbuster, if you will, where we're going to have 2 full weeks of just nonstop, just wild matches. Your United World Tag Team title match was supposed to be at that 500th episode. Is there a tag team that you would consider being the #1 contenders, or a tag team that you would like to get your hands on that you've had now that you have the titles? Who would you want to defend against?
You know, I said before, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what they're doing, how they're doing it, or whatever, man. Any tag team out there, and it doesn't have to be a United Wrestling Network Championship Wrestling from Hollywood tag team. It could be any tag team from anywhere else. If you want it, come get it. You talk about blockbuster, all kinds of, you know, stellar matches over the course of the next couple of weeks. Well, we're going to have some. It don't matter who it is. It don't matter how they want it. All they need to do is step in the ring. Me and Danny's going to take care of business, man. We're going to bring the Bodega to them, and they're going to catch a beat down. That's 100%. So it don't matter if it's SoCal distancing. It don't matter if it's beef candy. It don't matter if it's 4 minutes of heat. It don't matter. If you want it, you can come get it from the Bodega, man, because we right here. And we are the United Wrestling Network World Tag Team Champions. Believe that.
Look out! Here's what's coming up for Championship Wrestling.
Big thank you to the big man Papo Esco for joining me here on the podcast today. How'd you like to run into him in a dark alley? Or how'd you like to run into him in the squared circle? I don't think either would be very fun. I'm with Danny Limelight. I would much rather have him on my team than standing across the ring with me. But let's take a quick look at what's coming up for Championship Wrestling as we head to the new year. Last week, wrestling trivia at Sidecar Cafe was absolutely off the hook. And of course, live professional wrestling in Memphis with SOAR Championship Wrestling. It was awesome. And it was great to be back, and it was great to see everyone at the events. Be on lookout for these guys and gals, man. There's some big futures ahead for many of them. We had a really great time. And as always, it was great to see my buddy, former WWE World Tag Team Champion Sir Mo. And you know, he joined us right here on the podcast just a few weeks back. You can check that out in the archives. Always good to catch up with him. But a big thank you to everybody who came out to Wrestling Trivia out last Monday. And then, of course, on the live event on Saturday. But let's take a look at what's coming up next. We hope to see you all again for our very last watch party of 2020. Thank goodness it's almost over. But it's WWE TLC, and it happens this Sunday.
Our next free watch party at Dave & Buster's is WWE Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Oh my! Join us Sunday, December 20th. It's free. Plus, you'll get a free game card. Dave & Buster's, Wolf Chase.
Calling all wrestling fans. Will someone please beat Team Canada? I mean, they've won 3 straight wrestling trivia championships in a row, so mad props to my boy Arnez. He did it on his own. His teammates, Mike and the others, they were not able to show up this time, but Arnez defended the championships on his own, won 3 in a row, and you have a little bit of time to prepare for the very first wrestling trivia at Sidecar Cafe of 2021. Wrestling Trivia returns to Sidecar Cafe on Monday, January 4th at 7 p.m.
Don't forget, it's free to play.
It's free to play.
And if you register now at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com, you'll get a free appetizer.
That's exactly what I was just about to say.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're taking it a little too far. And each and every Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, you can catch me on Sports 56 Mornings talking professional wrestling with Peter Edmondson and Anthony Sane. You can listen live anywhere in the world or on podcast whenever you'd like at sports56whbq.com. And it looks like this week we're going to be talking about Keith Lee headed back to the Performance Center for more training. You don't want to miss my take on this. I'm sure an argument will ensue. And then, on Thursday at noon, it's an all-new Grind City Wrestling. You can listen at grindcitymedia.com/podcast. And speaking of arguing, I know for a fact that we're going to be arguing about something on this show. Perhaps Sting! Sting! At least we've argued about Sting the last 2 weeks, and I'm sorry my Tony Schiavone impersonation is not up to par. But Saturday at noon, it's an all-new Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle, and boy, do we have a big card for you. It's already been announced. Jordan Clearwater will defend his Heritage Championship against the main event, Will All Damn Day. Yes, that is going to be our opening match of the day. Plus, we're going to check back in with Heather Monroe and Houston Body and see how their training session's going. And we're also going to hear from the other side as well. Ruby Reyes, CC Chanel, and Jamie Iovine. We're going to hear from them all as we head into that big intergender tag team match with the women's division and the future of the women's division championship hanging in the balance. That's going to happen in 2 weeks. But this week, we're going to hear from all parties that are participating. Plus, we're going to run down the full card of part 1 of the 500th episode spectacular. That's a big 2-week blockbuster. You'll know the full card this coming Saturday, and we will have a number 1 contenders match to see who gets a shot at the brand new United World Tag Team Champions.
Saturday at noon, join us for Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle.
It's another wild week of action where anything can happen.
That's Saturday at noon on CW30 Memphis.
Thanks for listening to the Championship Wrestling Podcast.
Another big thank you goes out to the big man, Papo Esco, for joining me today. Once again, big congratulations on becoming the brand new United World Tag Team Champions. The Bodega, Papo Esco, and Danny Limelight are the new champions. That was awesome to see history being made. And if you want to be on the Championship Wrestling Podcast, or if you want me to have your favorite wrestler on the Championship Wrestling Podcast, all you have to do is hit me up. Tweet me right now at Dustin Starr, and be sure to stay up to date and informed on everything Championship Wrestling by following us at CW30 Wrestling. And go ahead and subscribe to our official YouTube channel. New videos every single day. All you have to do is type in youtube.com/Championship Wrestling. And until next Saturday, another big episode. Can't wait. I am Dustin Starr, saying so long, everybody.
Happy holidays from all of us here at Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle.
We hope you made the good list just like me.
Yeah, right. We remember what happened last year.
Happy holidays!